Do you guys remember this poll? I remember this poll. This poll was released on August 26th, a couple of days after, 3 days after, Maxime Bernier declared his intention to leave the Conservative Party and form his own party. The party remains unnamed, but in this poll, the unnamed party got 13% of the potential vote. Now, it was a small sample size. It was only 1,000 people, so fine, fair enough. And a couple of days later, the Globe and Mail Post publishes this article, quote, "An overwhelming majority of Tory MPs have no intention of joining Bernier," survey reveals. So that was published a couple of days after some pretty strong initial polling results. Like that's nothing to sneeze at, 13%. That's pretty impressive, especially for a party with no name and not much in the way of good press or, I don't know, not much more in the way of promotion than Twitter, really, and Facebook and online. There certainly wasn't a media push to get this percentage. It was, if anything, tamped down, silenced. And the Globe and Mail is trying to reinforce this. You know, overwhelming majority of Tory MPs, nothing to see here. They have no intention of joining Bernier. It's gonna burn out quick. Fast forward to today, September 4th, 7:08 a.m. Quote from Maxime Bernier on Twitter, another very encouraging poll for a party that doesn't even have a name yet, coming soon. It can only grow from this base. Remember when the first polls in the leadership campaign were giving me only 4% support? And it links to an article. And this article I found interesting, so we're going to link to it. Globe and Mail again. Quote, poll finds 17% of Canadians are open to supporting Maxime Bernier-led party. 17% of Canadians say they're open to voting for a new Conservative party led by Maxime Bernier, according to the Nanos Research survey conducted for the Globe and Mail. Okay, so the Globe and Mail commissioned this poll. I'll tell you how the poll was conducted in a minute, but this is the important part. Quote, pollster Nick Nanos said, the results show a party led by Mr. Bernier is unlikely to be a contender for power. However, he said, the poll numbers suggest a strong campaign could be enough to gain official party status, which requires 12 seats in the 338 House of Commons. He said Mr. Bernier could also draw support away from other parties if he was viewed as a protest option. Okay, Globe and Mail, are you trying to be funny? Haha. I think at this point the protest option, well, okay, the protest option at this point is not Mr. Scheer. The protest option at this point is Mr. Jagmeet Singh. That's the protest vote in this one. He's not going anywhere. DOA. However, that's just my opinion. Fast forward a little bit in the article. Quote, the poll of 1,000 Canadian adults was conducted between August 25th and 27th as part of an omnibus survey. Participants were recruited via random calls to cell phones and landlines, and the survey was then administered online. And there were some funny questions asked, and you can read this article if you want to. I don't know. It talks... Basically, the thrust of this article is, yeah, he's polling at a pretty good percent. 17% is pretty good, but nothing to see here. Move on. He might get 12 seats. Carry on. So I just want to point this out. 19.7% of the vote is what the NDP got in the last vote, and that's 44 seats. So this gentleman's ballpark of 12 seats with that kind of support, okay. Did you pull that number out of your hat? I'd put him at 40 seats at this point, and maybe more. But that's just me. I'm just some dude on the internet. Don't listen to me. Read other news, too. This is how, in my opinion, you are an effective leader in opposition. And I'll leave you with this today. Link will be in the description. This is Maxime Bernier on Twitter again. Quote, Liberal government has not been able to get big projects built under the current approval process. It will be even worse if Bill C-69 becomes law. That's the bill that requires projects to be analyzed based on the, quote, intersection of sex and gender with other identity factors. The link to that will be in the tweet, and the link to the tweet will be in the description. 2, many more problems with this bill. It could affect not just energy, but other industries, mining, forestry, port expansion. Any group not directly affected by this project will be allowed to intervene, multiplying the number of opponents. No clear limit to timeline extension. Liberal government's goal is not to simplify and facilitate big project review, but to make it more complex and difficult. Forget about any new project development in Canada if this bill becomes adopted. Investors will just go elsewhere. We are witnessing that in real time right now. Thank you, Max, for being an effective opposition leader. Mr. Scheer, where are you, man? Justin, are you reading this? October 2019 can't come fast enough, and if these polls are any indication, we're moving up. The message is getting out. So thank you. Thanks for watching. And go to maximebernier.com and donate. Let's help Max save Canada. Thanks.